Good evening, high school football fans. This is the High School Football America radio show for February the 9th, 2017. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show and founder and editor-in-chief of highschoolfootballamerica.com. Got a great show for you tonight. We're going to talk about the National Football Foundation's showcases that are coming up over the next 4 weeks, starting here in Southern California this Saturday in Irvine, California. We're going to be talking with Phil Camp, who actually got it all started in Houston 9 years ago. And also on the show tonight, we're going to talk with Jaime Ortiz, the state champion coach of San Clemente here in Southern California. Coming off a great Super Bowl weekend, didn't we, folks? What a game. Super Bowl 51 living up to that super part of Super Bowl as the New England Patriots and Tom Brady come way back and win the Super Bowl, the NFL championship, with an exciting overtime victory. The weekend kicking off with the announcement of the class of 2017 for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't know if you checked it out on highschoolfootballamerica.com, but we also put together a nice little piece on this year's 7 honorees and what they did back during their high school days. For example, Morton Anderson, who went to Ben Davis High School in Indianapolis in Indiana on a whim, decided to kick his first American football. He was a soccer player in Denmark. He was a senior exchange student at Ben Davis, and he was so impressive in his one season at Ben Davis that Michigan State offered him a scholarship. And there's a great little, kind of like a football card, if you will, that the Ben Davis football Twitter account put out showing Morton Anderson during his high school days in Indiana. How about Terrell Davis from Lincoln High School in San Diego, California? Didn't begin playing high school football until his junior year. Wore number 7, began his career as a nose guard before being moved to fullback during his senior season. Lincoln High School, also the alma mater of Marcus Allen. So Davis and Allen, now Hall of Famers from the same high school down there in San Diego. If you check out that story that I'm talking about on highschoolfootballamerica.com, you'll see some great video of Allen and Davis during the return to the high school and some video of their days in high school at Lincoln High School. Kenny Easley going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He was the first Virginia high school football player to run and pass for 1,000 yards in a single season when he was at Oscar Smith High School in Chesapeake, Virginia. He played quarterback and free safety at Oscar Smith. Jerry Jones, not entering as a player, of course, he enters as the general manager and the chief cook and bottle washer, if you will, of the Dallas Cowboys, creating Jerry's World, and he played his high school football at North Little Rock High School. He was actually a running back there, and a lot of people don't know that he went on to be a co-captain at the University of Arkansas, where in '64 the Razorbacks won their national championship. Jones playing along the offensive line, only weighing 183 pounds. Love the story of Jason Taylor, too. His high school playing days at Woodland Hills, kind of unexpected there outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He was homeschooled from the 10th grade through his senior year. And head coach at Woodland Hills, the legendary George Novak, tells the story in our story at highschoolfootballamerica.com of how he found Taylor doing some landscape work in a neighbor's yard. And then after finding out he was homeschooled, the school district there, at the behest of Coach Novak, changing the rules so that Taylor, as a homeschooled student, could actually play at Woodland Hills. Just goes to show that these players that make the Hall of Fame, doesn't matter where you play, the NFL will find you, and it's a great story. LaDainian Tomlinson, for example, began his football career as a linebacker, then worked his way onto the offense during his senior season at University High School in Waco, Texas, rushing for over 2,500 yards, 39 touchdowns. He was named to the All-State football team there. And Kurt Warner, we all know about his incredible story, coming from Iowa and Cedar Rapids, playing at Regis High School, multi-sport athlete, 4 seasons on the varsity football, broke nearly every school passing record. I think he actually broke every one. And as a senior, he was named All-State and played in the North-South Shrine Game. So lots of great detail for you if you go to highschoolfootballamerica.com and check out all the stories that we wrote around the class of 2017 for the Pro Football Hall of Fame induction coming up later on this summer. Also at highschoolfootballamerica.com this week, lots of new jobs added to the coaches job board. We make it real easy for you to find your next job. Just go to coaches job board, which is on the navigation tab at highschoolfootballamerica.com. If you have an opening on your staff, if you're a coach or if you're an administrator and you want to publicize it, you can do it for free by emailing us at jobposting@highschoolfootballamerica.com. Don't forget to follow us when we're off the air via Twitter at HSFB America. That is our handle. All right, time to welcome in all of our partners at highschoolfootballamerica.com, and you can get to all of our partners via their banner ads at highschoolfootballamerica.com. We'll start things off with Crossover, breaking down that game film and giving you great insights. They take a lot of time off of your staff's hands. You know how much grunt work there is and inputting all the information on the game film breakdown. Crossover does it for you very well, very accurately. We have been doing microclinics over the last couple of weeks in the state of Texas. We have a couple more coming up in the Austin and the San Antonio area. We were in the Dallas-Fort Worth area a couple of weeks ago, and the guys at Crossover do it well. You can get a free demo by going to crossoverwithak.com/HSFA, and they will really save you time and money. Jason Strunk, who writes the turnaround blog for us at highschoolfootballamerica.com, the head coach at Lubbock High School in West Texas, estimates that his staff has saved itself 50 hours, gets him right into the job of coaching, and money-wise says it saves him about $10,000 a year by using Crossover. Also brought to you tonight by the good folks at Echo 1612. Echo, bringing instant replay to your sidelines 8 seconds after the play is done. It's all about a competitive edge, and that's what Crossover and Echo give coaches, a competitive edge. And in this very competitive world these days, you need that competitive edge. Again, check them out at echo1612.com. Click on through our banner ad to get you to Echo. Great folks there. Real good, solid folks that care about coaches. Coaches making products for coaches. That's what Echo did. Make tomorrow's adjustments today with Echo 1612. And hey, players, keep those pesky rubber pellets from Field Turf out of your shoes by getting a spiffy-looking pair of the TDI razor, the debris inhibitor razor. They keep those pesky rubber pellets from Field Turf out of your shoes, and they give you that great look of spatting without the high cost of tape. It's expensive these days to have a roll of tape, and these are durable, American-made, 20-plus great colors. You can also get your school's logo on it. Check them out, the fine folks at Southern Sport. Check them out at TDI Razor. That's Razor with a U. TDI Razor, RAZUR.com. Use the special code from High School Football America, HSFA, and get a discount on your order. Also brought to you tonight by the fine folks at ScoreStream. In season, they give you the live scoreboards that we have broken out state by state and the top 25 scoreboard. It's an app that is incredible when you take it to the game. You can let everybody in the world know how your team is doing. And it's not just for football, and you can upload videos and photos. Learn more by going to scorestream.com. You can download the ScoreStream app at Google Play and in the iTunes Store. And also brought to you tonight by USA Today High School Sports. For the last couple of years, High School Football America and USA Today HSS.com teaming up to give you great national high school football coverage and coverage from around the country. Again, check them out at USA Today HSS.com. Going to take our first break, hear from all of our partners, and when we come back, we're going to talk with Phil Camp, former coach in the Houston area in Texas, creating the first showcase for the National Football Foundation. Actually, the National Football Foundation came in after the first one as Coach Camp and his workers there coming up with a great idea that gave players from around the country that didn't sign on National Signing Day a look-see in front of coaches from Division II, Division III, NAIA, and now we're up to 4 camps around the country. The first one coming up in Los Angeles and Orange County this weekend, and then they go to Houston, then then they go to Florida, then they go to the Carolinas. You're going to love to hear about some opportunities out there, coaches and players, for kids that have not signed at this point. They are free camps. It's incredible. You're going to hear from Philip Camp when we come back. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra Bigfoot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. This portion of High School Football America is brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, USA Today High School Sports and High School Football America teaming up to give you great national high school football coverage and coverage specifically from Southern California. Make sure to check them out at usatodayhss.com. All right, well, we're going to start the show tonight deep in the heart of Texas, and we're going to talk about some great showcases coming up. Last week, if you remember, we on the show talked about the Christmas that is on the first Wednesday of every February, which is National Signing Day, and lots of kids and parents and coaches and schools very, very happy. But some people may ask the question, well, what about those kids that just didn't sign that day, but they're good football players? Maybe they can play at the D2, D3 level, NAIA. What happens to those kids? How do they get noticed? What is the process from there? And last week when I was in the state of Texas, Mark Ball and Johnny Ringo and I were talking about the National Football Foundation. Now, for those of you that don't know, or maybe you do know because Archie Manning is the chairman, and we're going to have the president and CEO, Steve Hatchell, on coming up in March. They have had, over the last several years, two great showcases in Houston and Los Angeles. Actually, I'll be checking out the one here in Orange County coming up this weekend. And now this year, they've expanded it to a couple of other areas in Florida and North Carolina. And the man that got it all started back in Houston is on the line to talk about their showcases, which are free. They're designed to help kids get noticed by colleges around the nation. And Phil Camp is the guy that got it all started in Houston. Coming up on the 18th, the 9th annual Greater Houston Senior Football Showcase will be held, and Phil Camp's the former football coach at Milby High School in Houston, and he's on the line to talk about how it all got started, and if you're out there listening, how you can get involved with it. So welcome to the show, Coach.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you on here. And, before we kind of dive into what's going on this year, since you've never been on the show, I'd like you to kind of dial it back a little bit. 9 years ago, you decide that some way, somehow, some kids need to be helped. And how'd the idea come about?
I had a group of seniors that were not getting looked at. We weren't very good. I mean, we were 0-9. But I had some players that could play, and they had good grades. And Houston Milby is an inner city school, and a lot of people don't realize that even though you go to an inner city school, you can have good grades and you can have test scores. So I had remembered when I was coaching down in South Texas, I would get these postcards from these small colleges in Kansas and Oklahoma and Nebraska saying, Coach, we're going to be at the Holiday Inn South San Antonio. Can you bring your kids up? And we'd like to talk to them about our school. And I remembered that, and I said, let's see if we could do something like that here. And the NFL Combine was getting ready to go on. So that's where I got that idea. So we first year we had it at my school with 180 kids from just Houston Independent School District and 14 colleges. And coaches from around the district came out and helped with the drills and everything, and called up my friend Chris Vaughn, who is a member of the National Football Foundation Touchdown Club of Houston chapter, and he came out and watched it and said, God, if one of these kids gets an offer to go to school, then this is great. And I just looked at him and I said, Chris, we've already got 75 kids. So out of those 180 kids, over 100 of them got an offer, at least one offer. And the one of the kids that I did it for was my offensive lineman, who went to Tabor College up in Kansas, played all 4 years, and had a great career. And best thing about that is he has a college degree.
That is phenomenal. That is a great story. All it takes is one little seed of an idea, right, Coach? Let's let the listeners out there know the dates of the camps here before we get to our next question. So, as I mentioned at the top, this coming Saturday, the 5th annual California Showcase, launched by College Football Hall of Fame coach Terry Donahue at UCLA, will be held. It's going to be held at Orange County Great Park in Irvine, California. We're going to put these things up on the website, a story about this at highschoolfootballamerica.com after the show tonight. So so you'll be able to get some more facts. We'll give you some links. On the 18th, it is Coach Camp's 9th annual Greater Houston Senior Football Showcase. It will be held at Houston Sports Park in Houston, Texas, the following weekend. All four of these come on back-to-back weekends. On the 25th, the inaugural Orange Bowl Florida High School Football Showcase will be held at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And then the final one will be the first one ever in the Carolinas Senior Football Showcase. That one being spearheaded by ESPNU's college football analyst and former UCLA football player Charles Arbuckle. That's March the 4th, and that one will be held at the Charlotte Latin School in Charlotte, North Carolina. So you have this great story where year one is fantastic. How does this all then come together and eventually wind its way into the National Football Foundation? And how do you, how do you grow this thing? Because, you obviously got a great start, but you need some help there. So tell us about that next part of the journey.
Well, again, Chris Vaughn, who is a member of the NFF, the National Football Foundation, and the Touchdown Club of Houston is a chapter of the NFF here. They called and got Steve Hatchell and Phil Marwell and Matthew Sines all involved, and we were through them we were able to use the Houston Texans bubble and practice fields. So that was great for 6 years. This year we're not going to be able to have it there because they're having the regional NFL combine here that weekend. But through the Texans and through the Touchdown Club and the National Football Foundation and a minority owner in that from the Texans, we've been able to help a bunch of kids go to college.
That's phenomenal. So it just kind of grows from there. We're talking about the National Football Foundation's high school showcases coming up in 4 cities around the country over the next 4 weekends, giving kids, kind of a second chance, or in many cases, a first chance, as Coach was saying there, after National Letter of Intent Signing Day. And Coach, tell me a little bit about the kids that are eligible to come out to these events so they can kind of figure out if they fit in.
Well, this is all about grades. These are D2, D3, and NAIA schools, and we have a few JUCOs that come in. But D3s, Division III schools don't give scholarships for athletics. They give academics. Mm-hmm. So the better GPA that you have, the better test score that you have, the more academic money you're going to get. And that's what this is all about. We require a 2.3 GPA. We require an 860 on the math verbal of the SAT. We require a 19 ACT. That's just so the colleges know, okay, I know that I can get this young man in. And we kind of separated. We have what we call red shirts and we have gray shirts. The red shirts are the kids that have above a 3.25 GPA and a 1100 SAT or a 24 ACT. So schools like Trinity and trying to think of the one there in L.A., Coach Simonis is the head coach. Occidental, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was going to help you out in a second if you were there. Go ahead.
Schools like that and Puget Sound that have very high academic standards, Trinity University here in Texas, they know that they can sit there and watch the kids in the red shirts and know that they can already get them in. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we get all the kids and we put them in a book and we categorize them by positions. And every kid has a number on the back of the shirt. So let's say that you're out there and you need a quarterback. So you go watch the quarterbacks, and there's number 7. 7 looks really good. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Named Phil Camp, Houston Milby High School, had a 3.2 GPA and a 1100 math verbal. I already know that I can get him in, and we want the coaches to go over there and talk to the kids right there. Mm-hmm. And get them interested. And then they have a table set up afterwards when the whole showcase is over for the kids to come in and talk to the coaches. And most of the coaches that have been coming now are bringing their admission reps. So they have their laptops out there and they have the kids put an application into the school right then and there.
What a wonderful idea. That's so great.
They don't, and it's very humbling when you sit there and think that we've helped change some kids' lives.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And made it better.
Yeah, I can imagine the smile on your face and all the people's faces that are involved in this. We're talking with Phil Camp tonight. 9 years ago, he got the idea of helping out kids that didn't sign on the first Wednesday of February, kids that are, as you just heard, D2, D3, or the NAIA focusing on academics. The main thing there, I noticed in the press release last year, the two events in Houston, L.A., reps from 110 colleges covering 30 states were there, helping over 1,000 aspiring college football players. And like you said, academic scholarships, especially in these tough times, can help. And I guess we're talking millions and millions over the last several years. Let me ask you this, question, Coach. I'm sure you've had one or two stories. Is there one real special one that stands out in your mind where you're like, a kid probably never thought he had a shot at going to that next level, but because of the showcase, he was able to do that, and like you said, get that academic scholarship and hopefully graduate with a good degree? Do you have one of them?
There is one, and it was from the first year, and it was a young man that was at Sharpstown High School here in Houston. He was a Katrina evacuee. He and his mom were living out of the car. And this young man comes to the showcase. He was an all-district player. He's a defensive lineman. He was small, 6'1", 215 pounds. And William Penn up in Iowa took a chance on him. That young man is coaching high school football in Texas now.
That's beautiful. That is. Can we have his name?
I wish I could remember it.
I'll look that up. I'll figure it out for you.
I mean, I do know that he's coaching down in the South Houston area. So long ago, I do apologize about not remembering the name.
That's okay.
But Chris Vaughn is one of Chris Vaughn's guys in the touchdown club. He was one of the touchdown club honorees. The thing about it is we have a board with Chris Vaughn as the president. Kobe Roden is my vice president, and Kobe does all the difficult work. He brings all of the registration and all of the logistical stuff together. I just get to do all the football stuff. But Kobe works his tail end off, and then Daniel Knight and Cameron Crow and Bob Hubble, and then I have two guys, Marlon Taplin McMillan, that runs the skill set of the practices, and we call them practices because the coach understands what a practice is, and then Terrence Murray runs the lineman, and we get after it for 4 hours and then give kids a chance to go to school.
I'm really looking forward to checking out the event here in Southern California coming up this Saturday. We're talking with Phil Camp. He got it all started, the showcase. It's now tied in with the National Football Foundation, the College Football Hall of Fame. Just getting to learn more and more about you guys. You can learn more about the foundation at footballfoundation.org. And so it starts in Houston, and then it comes out here to Southern California. I mean, Terry Donahue, it doesn't get any better than that name, the College Football Hall of Fame coach at UCLA. How does that all transpire? Did you have a hand in bringing all that together? How did it grow? I
didn't have a hand in anything. Matter of fact, it was Ron Dillatesh and Matthew Sines and Steve Hatchell. They were up. Coach Donahue and his brother Pat were up at the Cotton Bowl. The year 2011, they were at the Cotton Bowl, and they were talking with Steve and Ron and Matthew, and they were telling them about the showcase. You need to come down and take a look at it. So the next thing I know is we have a barbecue the night before for the college coaches, and here comes Pat Donahue and Terry Donahue in to the barbecue. I didn't even know that they were coming down to take a look at it. And we sat there and talked, and we gave them everything we had. And it's been a blessing. When you have a name like Terry Donahue, that kind of opens up some doors. Mm-hmm. And we were able to get more colleges, and we got some colleges from the West Coast to come down here to Houston. But having a guy like Coach Donahue legitimizes something like this, in a hurry. And the thing about Coach is he is so humble and takes no credit for any of this. And, they have a dinner also the night before, and he always introduces me to everybody and calls me the godfather and my wife the godmother of the showcase. To me, I enjoy that. But this is all about kids, helping kids get into school. That's why I got into coaching.
And then how proud are you as the godfather there that this year 2 more events are added and some very good football parts of the country in Florida and Carolina there? I mean, it's got to be so much fun to sit back and kind of just think about it all started 9 years ago with a little idea. How proud are you?
We are super excited that we're going to have the chance to help kids from all across the nation now. The people from Miami came down last year, LaToya Williams and that crew from the Orange Bowl came down and just had Bob Epling, LaToya Williams came down from the Orange Bowl and saw what it was like, and they wanted to start it. And matter of fact, we were on the phone with them yesterday, and they're up to 35 colleges and close to 500 kids signed up, and they are super stoked to get this thing started. And I spoke with Charles Arbuckle, who you said before played for Coach Donahue at UCLA. Mm-hmm. He got the idea when he was out there 5 years ago and finally got it going this year. I mean, the hotbed of football is the Carolina Southeast area, Florida, Texas, California. I don't want to leave out Ohio and Pennsylvania.
Better not. I'm from there. You got to watch yourself.
a lot of great players. Hey, my dad was a coach in Ohio. I'm from Youngstown, so I know about those. I know about the football up there.
Yeah.
But a lot of the colleges. See, Texas, we have 10 Division III and NAIA schools, and the kids in Texas really don't understand, that they can still go play football and get a college education. And when they see this, I mean, everybody's waiting for Tom Herman from UT or Urban Meyer from Ohio State or Jim Harbaugh to come knock on their door and say, hey, we're offering you a scholarship. Well, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can play at the Big House. Mm-hmm. Not everybody can play at Darrell K. Royal. But you know what? There's a school 200 miles west of us, Texas Lutheran, that is a great school and has great football. And in the last 5 years, they've got 5 rings on their hands. So, Mary Hardin Baylor just won the national championship here, and they're right in Belton, Texas, and that's a Division III school. So there are a lot of opportunities for these student athletes to go play not just football, but sports at these D3 schools and NAI schools.
Yeah, I'd sum it up by saying you guys are putting the student truly in the student-athlete moniker there. We're talking with Phil Camp. Started the NFF showcases in Houston 9 years ago. This year, Los Angeles and new ones in Florida and the Carolinas. So, Coach, if we've got some coaches listening here, and I know we have tons of them and student-athletes as well, and they want to get involved and they want to show up, how is the best way for them to do that? How do they get involved and get to be able to go over to the camps?
The best way is to go online. It's the California Showcase is cashowcase.org. Okay. Mm-hmm. And a college coach can get on there and register, and the kids can register, and volunteers, coaches can go volunteer.
Well, I'll take the time to get those links up there, like I said, at highschoolfootballamerica.com. And by the way, you just mentioned a very important thing, because I've seen the list of the California coaches and all that. We shouldn't leave that out. Obviously, the guys at the top are important, but what about all these guys that come out and volunteer their time for the kids? I mean, you've got some impressive names there. How important is that to the success of the events?
Well, if you sit there and you come out, and you're a kid, and maybe you don't know who Jay Schrader is, or you don't know, Rick Neuheisel. Rick's been on TV out there, but you know that he played out for Coach at UCLA, and you see all these guys that have been in the NFL, and you're getting, coached by these guys. for this one day. And, to me, that's huge. And these kids, they sit there and they look at it and they look at each other and they say, who's this guy? And when you tell them, they're like, oh, my dad knows, about him. So they all go on their phones and they look these guys up. So you got ex-NFL guys coming to help coach. That's a huge deal. I mean, we have here in Houston, we have a large number of NFL alumni that come out and work the showcase. So that's fantastic.
No, it really, really is. We're on with Phil Camp tonight here, the former football coach at Milby High School in Houston, starting the NFF showcase in Houston, and now it's showcases the 11th here in Los Angeles. That's this weekend. The Houston event is February 18th, the 25th, the first one in Florida in Fort Lauderdale, and then the 4th wraps up with the first one in the Carolinas at Charlotte Latin School in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, check out highschoolfootballamerica.com tonight after the show to get some more details on this. And I guess as we let you go here, I'm going to let you make one more pitch to the young athletes and coaches out there as to if you had, a couple of sentences and you were in front of a coach or a player and that young man didn't sign last Wednesday, what would you say to him as to why they should show up at one of these showcases?
If you have the desire to go to college and get an education and continue your football, then this is the place for you to go. I mean, most 19, 19-year-old young men, they've been playing football since they've been 5 or 6. They've had football, they've had their parents, they've had their coaches and teachers their whole life. You go away to college, and all of a sudden football's not there to help direct you. The coaches aren't there to help direct you. There's something that gets lost that you just don't have anymore. And this gives the young men an opportunity to get out there and play some football. The thing about it now in the NFL, and I'm not saying that these kids, that the NFL will find you. If you're a player, It doesn't matter if you go to an NAIA school or you go to a Division I UCLA or USC. If you're good enough, the NFL is going to find you. And it's just another opportunity to continue your education and play some football.
And like you said, academics first. Coach, we really appreciate you joining us on the show tonight. Congratulations on having a little seed of an idea that's been able to grow this big, and appreciate your time. And I look forward to checking out everything that's going on in Irvine here coming up on Saturday. And if we can ever help you out, please always reach out to us. Thank you for joining us on the show tonight.
Thank you.
Very welcome. Again, you can learn more by going to footballfoundation.org. We'll have more on highschoolfootballamerica.com after the show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to a state championship coach from 2016. What a run it was for San Clemente in California. Jaime Ortiz. When we come back, you're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field Turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass-playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossoverwithak.com/football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, High School Football America and USA Today High School Sports teaming up to give you great national football coverage and coverage specifically from Southern California. Check them out at USA Today HSS.com. Well, speaking of Southern California, there has been a 2-month party, I think, by the Twitter feed of the next guest, Jaime Ortiz, the head coach at San Clemente, winning the California State Championship about 2 months ago, Division 1A championship, a cardiac kid, comeback style, all kinds of good stuff. I love this guy. He truly epitomizes what high school football coaching is all about. He was also honored just recently by the CIF, the governing body out here, as a model coach. His phrase, he's been on the show before, one town, one team, and the celebration continues, and he's here to celebrate with us tonight on the show. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
Great to have you here, and it's been wonderful to watch what's happened over the last 2 months. You've had the parade, you had all these things, but it's kind of, to me, been like high school football's Stanley Cup. You have shown up, or the trophy, I should say, has shown up everywhere around town. Tell us a little bit about how much fun you guys are having with the tour of the trophy, so to speak.
When we first set out on the playoffs and of course the state championship, I told our kids that one of our goals was bringing that championship back to San Clemente. We brought the state championship back, and we had an opportunity to bring the state championship back. And for us, that trophy epitomizes what our school and what our program and community is all about. And so we have a lot of local businesses, especially during our playoff run, that stepped up and helped out with maybe sending down a bunch of burgers or hosting us for pizza, or like Board and Brew, they provided the sandwiches on our trip up to Sacramento. And so it was a way for us to kind of give back to the community. We've taken it to our middle schools, our local businesses, and our Orange County Sheriff's Department. They've all been kind of part of that process. And I want our players to understand it's not just about us. It's about the entire community. It's about our city. And if we're going to preach one town, one team, we got to make sure we celebrate it like that. And so it's a great opportunity to get those businesses kind of in the limelight a little bit, and they love having it. Our local sandwich shop, we had it for 4 days, and customers were coming in, taking pictures and selfies with it. And he wanted to hold on to it a little bit longer. I said, "We got to share the wealth. We got to share the wealth a little bit." But it's a good opportunity to pay respect to our local businesses that support this program. It takes a village, and they're a big part of our village, and we got to make sure we do them right as well.
Gotta love it. The high school football championship helping the economy of San Clemente. Jaime Ortiz is on the line tonight, and let's kind of dial back the clock now. We're going to talk about several things on the show, but you guys had an incredible playoff run, and the championship game was coming. Certainly the culmination of that. As you look back at it right now, tell me a little bit about what was going on during the playoffs when you win your first CIF Southern Championship and all that. Where did it kind of click in that this team was hitting its stride at the right time of the season?
It was right about, we lost week 10 of the season, and we had a team meeting, and I talked to the kids, and I said, there's enough talent in this room to have us go as far as you guys want to go. We just got to put it together. And from that point forward, things kind of started clicking a little bit. And what I really appreciate about the playoffs is we got better each game. And to me, that's a sign of a quality program and quality kids and quality coaches when you're getting better as the pressure mounts. And for us, we faced a lot of adversity. Playing, we played at Heritage, the number 1 seed. We played at third place. We played Mirror Valley, number 2 seed at third place. We played at Edison. They were defending CIF champ. We played in Sacramento against Del Oro, defending state champ. 30 minutes down the road from the facility. And for our kids, they kind of embraced that, and they got a little chip on their shoulder saying, hey, we're the underdogs. And we did, by sometimes self-inflicted, we did face some adversity throughout the playoff run, but being down, 17-0 against Del Oro, being down 14 against Valencia at halftime, and our kids battled back and they found a way to win. And to me, that it was a true sign of their character. And also, I think our coaching staff just keeping things together and staying calm and letting the process play out. And at the end of the day, coming up with both those championships was big for our kids, especially.
Yeah, and we're going to get into the kids in just a second, but we've done a lot of championship coaches on the show over the last, 8 weeks, and I find this time of year, especially when you get to the goal that you guys got to, and other coaches like you, we don't talk a whole lot about those assistant coaches, but and their names aren't necessarily thrown out there. So for the listeners, and give those props out to those guys that are there with you, tooth and nail, whether it's off season or through 2 days right on through that championship. Let's give them a little notoriety tonight. Tell us who did the job for you, and even though you're doing the interview, they were right there with you.
Right, yeah. Anytime I get a model coaches award or CIF coach of the year, it's a testament to our coaches. I'm just the guy that try and keeps everybody together. I'm like the air traffic controller. But our offensive coordinator, Troy Cobb, has done an amazing job of our quarterbacks, especially, when you look at the success of Sam Darnold and Jack Sears and Travis Wilson, and Coach Cobb's been a big part of that. He does a great job calling our offense and gets the kids ready to play. And I would also say our strength and conditioning coach and running back coach, Joe Wood, he was actually my high school defensive coordinator, linebacker coach. And so he's the guy that in the weight room, that's where I think championships are won and lost in the off season. And he's a big part of what we do. And then also our offensive line coach, John Hamrow. He does a great job of our offensive line. He's also our athletic director. I think it's very important. In order to have a successful program, you have to make sure administration buys into what you're doing. And not only does it buy in, but he's also a member of our staff as an admin and also as an O-line coach, which is hard to find. And those 3 guys are probably the guys that have been around the longest in our program that have faced the ups and downs of what we've been through, and they're kind of been the stable guys in regards to what we do.
Talking to Jaime Ortiz tonight, head coach at San Clemente, winning the California Division 1A state championship back in December, talking about that championship. And, now flipping it over to the players, another year, another wonderful Elite 11 quarterback, Jack Sears, kind of manning the helm. And we'll talk about him, but I also want to get some of the other kids in. But let's just talk about Jack in particular. A lot of pressure on that young man's shoulders, being a quarterback at San Clemente. Certainly finishes with a championship, but how would you categorize his senior season and what role he had obviously in the state championship run?
He was huge. If you look at that, our CIF championship game against Marietta Valley, I think he had 5 touchdowns, over 400 yards of total offense. And, he had a quarterback draw for around 75 yards that kind of sealed the game for us. And that was a game changer, and throughout his 2-year career as a quarterback and 1 year as a receiver, he leads with over 11 school records. And he also leads with a CIF championship and a state championship, something that's never been done here at San Clemente before. And so he, had a great opportunity to show his skills here at San Clemente High School, had an opportunity to be part of a great team and kind of lead by example. And now he's at, USC. And, it's pretty amazing when you ride back from Sacramento on December 21st and he's moving into USC on January 3rd. There's a little bit of a reality check. But, he did a great job leading this team. Sometimes, coaches get a little complacent when guys commit early and they play for the university and they don't play for their high school. There's no doubt that every step of the way, in that championship game, Jack was pretty beat up, to be honest with you. The Edison game, they got him pretty good a couple of times, and he just tried to will his body during that championship run and in that championship game against Del Oro, and even had an interception to end the game.
I was just going to talk about that. What was your decision there to put him in there? I mean, what a cap to a great career.
Yeah, for us, it's something that, this year I became the defense coordinator again, and as it's been well documented last year, we lost in the last play game to La Habra on a great play by them. And one of the first things I told the kids is we're going to have a plan in place if we get put in that situation again. And that was one of the first things I installed, whereas we called our Hail Mary defense. And my feelings are put your best athletes on the field. And so Jack was that center fielder. He had no man responsibility, no zone responsibility, just play football. And he did that against Edison as well. He actually knocked a pass away and had a tackle. And in the state championship game, he had the game-saving interception. So I'm a firm believer that if you have one of the best athletes in the nation, you better not be next to you on the bench. You better be in the game when the time comes.
Yeah, and came up and put the cap on a great season. We're talking with Jaime Ortiz, head coach at San Clemente here in Southern California, and lots of kids. Got some good kids on the CIF Southern Section All-League team. And let's talk a little bit about some of the other kids that made an impact, especially during that stretch run that brought that title home to the one-town team.
Yeah, Brandon Reeves is a 3-year starter here for us. And unfortunately he is graduating, and so we have the hard part of trying to replace Brandon with 5 guys. He played slot receiver, he played running back, he played cornerback, he returned kicks, he returned punts, and so he's done a little bit of everything here at San Clemente High School. And in that championship game, his punt return to put us ahead with around 5 minutes left to go in the game, that was a game changer as well. Just like Jack with that long run in the Marietta Valley game, for him to be able to do that in this Del Oro game was the difference in the game. And just a dynamic player, and that the punt return was actually they 2 times before they had quarterback kicked, on 4th down and versus sent out their punt team, and we just moved Brandon to free safety. You said return the punt and push everybody inside, and he went 60 yards for a touchdown. And so he's a guy that's going to be hard to replace, being the impact he had on our program. He's another guy who leads with 10 school records, overall. And so he's a big part of it. And I think as a whole, our defense, in that championship game, we were down 17-0. From mid-second quarter on, we shut them out the whole rest of the game against Del Oro. And Austin Moore is a guy that had a big presence in the postseason for us. Defensive lineman, 6'4", about 230. He ended up being the co-defensive player of the year for our division, along with Jack Sears being offense. But Austin, in 6 games, he had, like 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 3 hurries, and a couple of pass breakups as well. And so he had a definite presence especially in the Doral game in the second half. He had 3 sacks in the second half against Del Oro that kind of propelled us to victory. I would say, I'm a firm believer that defense wins championships, and that state championship game for our defense to shut down that offense from the second quarter on was a great feat. Then you go through our playoffs. Heritage was averaging over 50 points a game. Mineta Valley was averaging over 45 points a game. Valencia, who we played, was averaging about 43 points a game. And our defense each week, did their job and made the crucial stops when we had to. And I think that was a big part of our success, along with, with Brandon and Jack and those guys as well.
It was an incredible run, San Clemente, to a state championship here in California. And you're right back at it, though. So, Coach, what do you do when you've got this high? You've got a trophy, walking around town there, people still celebrating, but now, you turn your attention to 2017. I'm sure you got a nice high there, but how do you tell the kids that, hey, that was last year, let's look at 17?
Exactly, yeah. What we did was I told the kids, we sat down and met when we got back, and I told we had stuff planned in January. We got honored by the City Council, we got honored by our school board as well, and a couple of things they had planned. And I told the kids in the month of January, we'll celebrate all you guys want. You want to do this, you want to do that, whatever you guys want to do, we'll celebrate. But come February 1st, we're going back to work, because in 197 days, Oceanside doesn't care if we won state or if we win a national championship. They're there to beat us. And so we kind of made that mindset of the kids is, hey, in January, we'll celebrate. We'll have our banquet. We'll do all that. But let's make sure we respect the past, but we attack the future. Mm-hmm. And that's something that has kind of been our motto of our kids, is that last year was a great year for the program, a long time coming. But for this senior class, the bar has been raised. And what are they going to do to meet that or even raise it themselves? And so it's important for our kids and our coaches. It was a 16-week season. It's pretty long, and that is true. But come February, which is exactly where we're at. We started our off-season program right after the Super Bowl, and we're back to work, and the kids are in the weight room and they're hungry for more. And that's, to me, a testament to our kids and our coaches that don't be satisfied, continue to move forward and get better, and that's kind of what we've done from a program standpoint.
Yeah, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that there was more than just celebrating. Obviously at the high school level, Sam Darnold, your former quarterback, did a number on my Penn State Nittany Lions there in the Rose Bowl. But what a phenomenal run. I can't imagine what this community is feeling at this point.
Yeah, I think Sam was just the icing on the cake. He's a great kid from a great family, very humble. I was actually with him this past Sunday. Hasn't changed a bit. Recently won the Archie Griffin Award. Was out in Columbus, Ohio, and then the Rose Bowl game. Unfortunately, we already had plans to be out of state. We're in Utah, and I sat there at the TV, and I was just at the edge of my seat the entire time. Watching him play and what he did in that fourth quarter to propel that team. That's just Sam. And I give Penn State credit. I know you're a big Penn State fan. After the game, I got a couple of texts from Penn State coaches saying, "Hey, I didn't get a chance to see Sam because they recruited him as well at high school, but tell him that was a heck of a performance, and he had a great game." And there's just mutual respect out there, and I know he got a lot of public recognition, and I saw a thing the other day, teams already trying to figure out what team's going to draft him next year. But for Sam, he's done a great job of kind of ignoring that noise and just continues to work, and he's hungry for more. Rose Bowl championship is great, but he wants to be a Pac-12 champ, and he wants to be a national champion, and he's going to continue to do that. And his parents have done a great job raising him. He's humble, he's sincere, and he's just a hard worker, and that's something that I think attracts others. And my definition of a leader is someone who makes people around them better. And there's no doubt that program got better once he became a starting quarterback.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Jaime Ortiz on the line, San Clemente. We're going to wrap it up here. A couple of quick questions. The obvious one probably is Travis Wilson, Sam Darnold, Jack Sears. Who's next man up?
That's going to be a good, interesting battle come spring football. We have 2 JV quarterbacks. Last year, our JV team was 9-1, and both those guys are going to be fighting for the position. One's actually in wrestling, the other one's in basketball right now. And so those guys are going to wrap up their season the next couple of weeks and start getting with us. And come summertime and come spring, we're going to evaluate those guys just like we did Jack. When Jack ended up being the starting quarterback for us, he had to battle off 2 other quarterbacks. And I'm a firm firm believer that competition makes everybody better. And so those two JV guys will be coming up and letting those guys battle out. And I'll give them the same speech I gave Jack Sears. Don't be Sam Darnold, don't be Travis Wilson, be you. And here at San Clemente High School, the quarterback position is a very coveted position. College coaches know that if you're looking for a quarterback, this is the must-stop shop. You got to come down here, and those guys are I'm gonna have to sit down with them and kind of explain to them kind of the rules of the road and how it goes, and let them compete during spring and summer and get that starting quarterback come August.
And the last question is, you talked about some of the holes there. What do you have coming back? What makes you smile as you get back into the weight room right now?
Yeah, we had our national, letter of intent day, and one of the reporters made a comment, wow, you don't have a ton of kids signing. And for a state championship team, and it's true. We had, one, Jack and Brian Isaac Rex, who were both signed off, and we had one kid who took a preferred walk-on at UCLA. But we do have a good nucleus of kids coming back. We have our both wide receivers coming back. We have a Pac-12 tight end, and Chris Kane. He's 6'4", 215, and is already getting major looks by a couple of schools. And then defensively, we returned 2 linebackers, and also, Brandon Reeves was a starter, but also his backup, Matt Wiskowski, played quite a bit. And so we really have our entire secondary coming back. That's probably a big thing for us. But at the end of the day, the game's won and lost in the trenches, and that's probably an area of where we got to work and get these guys dialed in. I mean, we could have all the 7-on-7 guys you want, but as you all know, the O lineman and D lineman kind of control that game. And so that's an area we're going to have to really, work at and find those guys who can fill those spots. But we do have a good nucleus of kids coming back. This senior class, 6 of them started as sophomores, so we got a couple 3-year starters coming back, and we're excited about the future next year as well.
Well, Coach, appreciate the friendship. We got to get you. Trish wants you up here. We're going to cook for you and your wife and your family, and have a good time and celebrate that championship. For people that don't know, we live about 13 miles apart, so it was fun to watch the run, and we just appreciate your friendship and look forward to 2017. Thanks for joining us tonight.
You got it, anytime.
Taking a break, coming back with more. You're listening to High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, It's easy to get on and off. The debris inhibitor razor comes in 23 colors and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra Bigfoot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover.com/football. Jeff Fisher back on High School Football America, wrapping things up tonight on the show. Earlier we were talking with Phil Camp, who was the founder of the Greater Houston Senior Football Showcase put on by the National Football Foundation. He was describing a story of one of his best stories about a young man who came to his camp. His family was actually living in a car after being displaced by Hurricane Katrina. And his name, Darius Jones. I said we would figure out that young man's name. He played at Sharpstown High School there in Texas. And then as a result of the NFF's High School Football Showcase in Houston, was able to go on to William Penn University in Iowa. So congratulations to everyone that's been helped out by the National Football Foundation's showcases. Again, first one coming up here on Saturday, the 5th Annual California Showcase, headed by Terry Donahue, the College Football Hall of Fame, which is run by the NFF, legendary coach at UCLA. It's this Saturday at the Orange County Great Park in Irvine, California. Then the Houston Clinic, the showcase coming up on the 18th, 9th Annual. It will be held at the Houston Sports Park in Houston, Texas. 25th, the first one in Florida, it is going to be at Nova Southeastern University in Fort Lauderdale. And then March 4th, the first one in the Carolinas at Charlotte Latin School in Charlotte, North Carolina. You can get more information on these showcases right after the show here. We're going to be posting up a story at highschoolfootballamerica.com. I want to thank all of our partners on the show, Crossover, Echo, the good folks at Southern Sport that make the TDI Razor, Score Stream, and USA Today, HSS.com. I want to thank our guest on the show, Coach Phil Camp, talking about the showcases. Again, learn more by going to footballfoundation.org. You also want to check out some great content. We're going to be partnering up here at footballmatters.org, home for storytelling that promotes the power of amateur football. And also want to thank Jaime Ortiz, the head coach at San Clemente, winning the California Division 1A state championship this past season. I want to thank all of them for coming on the show tonight. If you've missed any of our shows over the 6 years that we've been doing it here, you can go to highschoolfootballamerica.com, click on audio in our navigation tab, and all of the past shows are there. It's a who's who of high school football. For now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from sunny Southern California. You've been listening to High School Football America.